On the Savannah, the boundary between life and death is decided in a single heartbeat. One misstep, one shift in the wind enough to reverse the course of fate entirely. Beneath the deceptive stillness of the dry grasslands, death lingers perpetually close. One error, and even the proudest creature instantly becomes a meme. The sun scorches the African plains. The prolonged dry season has transformed the grasslands into a carpet of burnt gold, where every drop of water becomes a reason to kill. This is the Savannah, a realm governed by no law but the law of the strong. Or at least, that is what most people believe. A lone lioness breaks away from her pride. She has not eaten in 3 days, and hunger is driving her toward a desperate gamble. The target, a male zebra grazing less than 165 feet away. Simple enough if the lion were truly invincible. "60% of a lion's musculature consists of fast twitch fibers, enabling an explosive surge from stillness to 37 miles per hour in just a few strides. Yet a lion's heart accounts for merely 0.5% of its body weight, a powerful engine, but one that cannot sustain. The chase must end within 30 seconds, or the hunter becomes the loser. The lioness launches into a burst of speed. Those hundreds of interlocking black and white stripes serve not as camouflage amid the grass, but to generate motion, dazzle a visual illusion at high speed. Through the hunter's eyes, the zebra's body outline blurs, making it impossible to calculate the precise distance and timing for a decisive strike. The hunter halts, panting heavily, and concedes defeat. A solitary lioness succeeds only 17 to 19% of the time. The apex of the food chain fails 4 out of every 5 attempts. Welcome to Nature's Moments, where we explore the grandest mysteries of the natural world. The savanna harbors no permanent ruler. Today's predator may become tomorrow's prey. The strongest is not necessarily the one in control. Across these plains, three powers vie for dominion: the lion through brute strength, the spotted hyena through sheer numbers, and the Cape buffalo through unyielding endurance. Who truly holds power? The answer will challenge everything once assumed about the savanna. But before the battle begins, the defeated hunter must eat. And this time, she does not hunt alone. Failure against the zebra is not an ending. It is the genesis of a far more dangerous decision. The lioness returns to her pride. Hunger has stretched across 3 days. The cubs grow weaker. The pride needs a substantial kill. And a massive target stands directly ahead. A giraffe, a mobile tower rising nearly 20 feet, weighing close to 2 tons. A single body sufficient to sustain the entire pride for 3 to 4 days. But the giraffe is no easy quarry. Its kick sweeps a 6.5-foot arc force enough to crush the skull of any predator foolish enough to approach. This is the moment instinct yields to strategy. Lions are not mercenaries, they operate as a coordinated unit. Stander's 1992 research revealed that each lioness within a pride holds a fixed tactical role, coordinating with the precision of players on a football pitch. Through a calculated encirclement and ambush point, the pride harnesses collective power to bring the 2-ton tower crashing to the ground. The feast begins. 2 males eat first, the privilege of beasts exceeding 420 pounds, crowned with thick, dark manes, markers of elevated testosterone, superior nutrition, and exceptional fighting prowess. The lionesses wait. They have done all the work, yet the law of the pride is not the law of fairness. It is the law of strength. Blood seeps into the parched earth. The scent of flesh drifts far on the hot wind. On the savanna, no meal remains a secret. And the most astute scavengers of the plains have been listening for some time. The kill has scarcely cooled when laughter erupts from the darkness. Not the laughter of joy, but a rallying signal for war. The spotted hyena, a creature many dismiss as a lowly scavenger, that assumption is profoundly wrong. Unlike lions, hyena society is governed by an absolute matriarchy. The smallest female in the clan outranks the largest male. Here, bloodline and female solidarity forge the power behind every siege. Spotted hyenas rank among the savanna's most persistent hunters, succeeding 25 to 40% of the time, with well-coordinated groups reaching 74% under ideal conditions. The hyena's power resides not in speed. It lies in its jaws, a bite force approaching 1,012 pounds. Force double that of a lion, sufficient to splinter a buffalo's femur into fragments. Their stomachs secrete acid with a pH near 1 so potent that bone, hoof, even teeth dissolve within hours. Nothing goes to waste. A few hundred yards from the pride, 3 lion cubs lie concealed in dense brush, eyes still clouded, legs still trembling. They do not yet know they were born into a war. Lion cubs enter the world in a state of complete dependence, altricial as science terms it. Blind, feeble, weighing under 4.5 pounds, 50 to 60% of them will not survive their first year. The enemies, not merely hyenas, not merely buffalo. Sometimes the savanna itself, sun, thirst, disease, proves the most silent killer of all. For the first 3 months, mother's milk is everything. After that, raw meat takes its place, and the lessons of survival commence. But before learning to hunt, they must learn to live. The mother relocates her cubs, constantly shifting hiding spots every 2 to 3 days, so scent cannot accumulate, so hyenas and buffalo cannot track them. When the cubs grow strong enough to follow the pride, true training begins. And the mother's teaching methods are ruthless in their effectiveness. The lioness does not teach through theory. She brings back live prey, small, wounded antelope, and releases them before her cubs, learning through combat. The throat bite technique passes down through each practice session. The precise placement, the angle of the jaw, the exact pressure to suffocate without squandering energy. With each failure, the jaw muscles develop a fraction more. With each missed pounce, the claws sharpen further. Muscle and instinct are forged through combat, not inherited through genes. The males play a surprising role in this process. Bulls weighing nearly 440 pounds lie motionless, feigning weakness, allowing cubs to leap upon them, claw, and practice biting. This is not play. This is training. The young learn to gauge an opponent's size and find vulnerabilities on a body 100 times larger than their own. Two years. That is the threshold. If a young lion cannot hunt independently before the age of 2, it will starve. No exceptions. Jaw muscles, claws, leg power, all develop through each real encounter. Genetics does not bestow strength. Life itself forges the predator. But while the mother is occupied training her young, an enemy has been watching silently from afar. And that enemy knows precisely what the lion refuses to acknowledge. Today's cubs will become tomorrow's killers. The Cape buffalo, 2,000 pounds, hide nearly an inch thick, curved horns sweeping backward, their bases fusing into a solid shield of bone across the forehead. Cape buffalo do not operate alone. Perched upon their backs rides a living radar network, the oxpecker. The piercing alarm call of these birds serves as an early warning system, signaling a lurking predator in the tall grass long before the buffalo can see it. Hunters have bestowed upon them a singular title, Black Death. Yet, raw physical power is not the buffalo's most formidable weapon. What makes them a lion's nightmare is memory. Cape buffalo possess long-term scent memory. They remember the scent of lions. They remember where lions once rested. They remember the wind direction that carried the scent of danger. The old bull's Dagga boys separate from the main herd, forming bands of 3 to 5. They do not search for grass, they search for lions. During daylight, while lions sleep, Dagga boys begin to track, nostrils pressed to the earth, reading every scent signal. If they detect lion scent, they do not flee, they advance. The target: lion cubs, not adult males, not full-grown lionesses. The young, vulnerable, slow, incapable of resistance. The buffalo comprehend this, and they act upon that understanding, a form of strategic thinking that science has only recently begun to document. Herds in high lion density areas develop stronger mobbing responses, with sentinels consistently facing downwind, a learned behavior requiring 2 to 3 generations to establish. This is not mere instinct. This is a defensive culture transmitted from one generation to the next, much as humans pass down the lessons of war. Périquet's 2012 study in PLOS 1 confirmed Cape buffalo are the lion's primary prey, yet simultaneously the leading cause of lion mortality inflicted by prey species. Predator and prey. The boundary between these two concepts on the Savannah is thinner than a blade's edge. Valeix in 2009 documented that Cape buffalo alter their behavior according to the landscape of fear. They avoid areas frequented by lions, even when the grass there grows taller, thicker, and richer. Fear shapes the migration map of the entire herd. But fear also breeds action, and the buffalo's response is not flight, it is attack. Lions are not the only ones who covet Cape buffalo. Spotted hyenas armed with bone-crushing jaws and pack tactics also test their fortune. But 154 pounds confronting 2,000 pounds demands an entirely different equation. Hyenas never attack head-on. They select their target, the elderly, the sick, the isolated individuals no longer shielded by the collective. The siege begins. This time, the hyena pack targets a young buffalo calf, deploying numerical pressure to grind down stamina and sever the calf from the herd. But they have collided with an immovable barrier, the mother buffalo. An absolute protective instinct fused with a colossal muscular frame stands resolute, neutralizing every attempt to close the ring. Before the lethal horns of Black Death, the hyena clan recognizes that the price of this meal is far too steep. They know when to retreat, and this, unmistakably, is that moment. Retreat is not cowardice. Retreat is survival. On the Savannah, the maternal fury of Cape Buffalo stands as an unbreakable fortress, powerful enough to repel even the continent's most formidable bone-crushing jaws. The hyena's battle ends here, but the war within the buffalo herd has only just begun. Each mating season, the Savannah trembles with a sound born not from lions or hyenas, but from deep within the buffalo herd itself. Two bulls charge headlong at one another, 30 miles per hour, no swerving, no slowing, skull meets skull. The horn boss, a fused shield of bone, is evolution's answer to precisely this moment. In mature bulls, the boss fuses completely by the age of 9, forming a plate of bone nearly 2 inches thick. Beneath the surface lies trabecular bone, a honeycomb lattice of struts measuring 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch tall, roughly a 1/4 inch in diameter. This architecture disperses impact force laterally, preventing it from driving straight into the brain. Research by Périquet in 2008 revealed that the boss is not built for ramming but for locking. Two bulls interlock horns, twist, wrench, and force each other down through sheer neck muscle power. These contests last for hours. Two bulls retreat, advance, lock, then break apart, rest, and clash again. Endurance decides the outcome, not a single devastating blow. The loser is driven from the herd, and a bull expelled from the herd becomes the easiest target for lions, solitary, exhausted, stripped of all protection. Defeated bulls often wander alone for weeks, wounds still raw, muscles spent. That is when the lions appear, always with impeccable timing. The battle within the herd determines who survives beyond it. On the Savannah, losing in love can mean losing everything. Between the lion and the Cape buffalo, which do you believe holds greater influence over the Savannah? Share your thoughts with Nature's Moments in the comments below. Daylight belongs to lions and Cape buffalo, but when darkness descends, another war begins quieter, yet no less savage. The leopard, sovereign of the night, not the largest predator, not the strongest, but perhaps the most dangerous once the sun sinks below the horizon. Its rosette-patterned coat shatters the body's outline in shadow, transforming the leopard into a phantom among the thickets. Beneath its paw pads lies a dense cushion of fine fur. A leopard can tread across the brittle, sun-baked leaves of the dry season without producing even the faintest rustle. Fully retractable claws remain sheathed in motion, ensuring no scrape of talon on stone. Its silence is a weapon unto itself. It closes to within 16 feet of its prey before launching the strike. The preferred quarry, impala, a swift antelope with a fatal habit of bedding down near dense brush. A lethal miscalculation when the night's premier hunter lies barely 3 strides away. The leopard does not chase, it waits. A single explosive leap, jaws clamping down on the throat, and it is over before the prey comprehends what has happened. Absolute silence, not a sound to alert the rest of the herd. The leopard possesses the highest strength-to-body-weight ratio of any great cat, a remarkable feat of evolutionary engineering. It hauls prey 3 times its own weight into the treetops beyond the reach of every rival and scavenger below. This act of hoisting a kill into the canopy underscores a simple truth. On the Savannah, keeping a meal matters more than making one. The leopard learned this lesson millions of years ago, long before the cheetah ever did. Night vision 7 to 8 times more powerful than a human's, thanks to the tapetum lucidum, a reflective mirror behind the retina. In total darkness, the leopard still sees. Its whiskers vibrissae function as electrostatic sensors, reading the air currents, detecting obstacles and prey without any need for sight. After nightfall, when vision ceases to be an advantage for others, the leopard becomes virtually invincible. Yet, one species refuses to accept the role of prey, and it has turned the conflict with the leopard into an arms race spanning millions of years. The baboon, canines measuring 1 to 2 inches long, a lower jaw so powerful that a single bite from an adult male can inflict a fatal wound on a leopard. By day, baboons hold the upper hand. They move in large, vigilant troops. When a leopard is spotted, the males form a line, face the enemy head-on and charge. A mob attack erupts. Rocks hurled, branches flung, teeth bared in a coordinated onslaught. A lone baboon poses little threat, but a frenzied troop can kill a full-grown leopard. And what proves more chilling still, baboons do not merely defend, they retaliate. Upon discovering a leopard's den, they seek out and kill the cubs, waging war against the next generation. Leopards hunt baboons by night. Baboons kill leopard cubs by day. There is no clear victor in this conflict, only an unending escalation. This is no simple predator-prey relationship. This is a shadow war where both sides serve simultaneously as hunter and hunted. With each passing night, the boundary between predator and prey blurs a little further. But the greatest battle still lies ahead, and this time, the apex predator will pay with its very dignity. The loss of cubs, a wound that never heals on the Savannah. And that wound transforms a lion pride into the most dangerous force on the grassland's predators with nothing left to lose. The entire pride assembles. 6 females, 2 males. For the first time this season, the full pride marches to war. The target is neither antelope nor zebra. The target is Cape buffalo. This is not vengeance. It is a simple equation. A single Cape buffalo yields over 1,100 pounds of meat, enough to sustain the pride for days. enough to let the mothers produce milk for the surviving cubs. The lions select their target, a lone bull, separated from the herd, perhaps a loser in the mating wars, or simply old and weakened. Whatever the cause, it stands alone, a fatal error on the Savannah. Deploying a tight encirclement from multiple angles, the lionesses swiftly drive their quarry into an inescapable pincer. With no avenue of escape under the pride's relentless assault, the massive frame finally buckles and crashes to the earth. The feeding begins before the buffalo's last breath has left its body. On the Savannah, there are no ceremonies for the vanquished. GPS data from Loveridge's 2022 study showed that lions inhabiting regions of high Cape buffalo density sustained injury rates 40% greater than prides in buffalo-scarce territories. Every buffalo hunt is a gamble, the reward immense. But the price may be shattered bones, crushed ribs, or death. The lions know this, yet hunger permits no margin for caution. Blood soaks into the soil. The copper scent of death drifts for miles. The fallen buffalo's cries have carried not on the wind, but through the collective memory of the entire herd. As darkness falls, the red dust of the pursuit slowly settles. The pride melts into the deep night, leaving behind an unfinished meal. No victory roar, no mane thrust proudly into the wind. Only hunters departing in silence, carrying a little less arrogance than they had at dawn. The war between lion and Cape buffalo produces no winner, only survivors and those who will return to the arena tomorrow. Lion or buffalo which truly commands the Savannah? The answer may lie with neither. For across this vast grassland, there exists a power that transcends every battle. It has no fangs. It has no claws. It needs neither speed nor numbers, and no species, not even the lion or the Cape buffalo, can endure without it. nearly 7 tons, 13 feet at the shoulder, ears broad as sails, fanning ceaselessly to shed heat beneath the midday sun. The African elephant, the largest land animal on Earth, takes no part in any war upon the Savannah. It has no need to, for it is the architect of the stage upon which every battle unfolds. £440 of vegetation each day. Elephants consume trees, demolish thickets, topple massive trunks, and this seemingly destructive force opens the canopy, flooding the grasslands below with light. Grass flourishes, zebras arrive, Cape buffalo follow, and where prey gathers, lions come. The food chain begins with an elephant felling a tree. In the dry season, when every water source has vanished, elephants excavate wells in desiccated riverbeds. 4 feet scrape the earth. Trunks draw groundwater from deep below the surface. No blueprints, no maps. Only memory passed from one matriarch to the next, pinpointing precisely where groundwater lies, how deep it runs, and when to dig. Those wells sustain more than 20 other species. Zebras drink from elephant wells, antelope drink from elephant wells, even hyenas and leopards drink from elephant wells. Elephant dung disperses seeds up to 40 miles farther than any other mammal on the continent. "50% of those seeds travel more than 1.5 miles, ensuring forests and grasslands regenerate without end. Research by Bunny in 2022 found that landscapes shaped by elephants support 30% greater species diversity among small mammals and reptiles compared to regions without elephants. The matriarch carries within her memory a map of water, migration corridors, and recollections of droughts spanning decades past. Her memory serves as a living GPS for the entire herd. They communicate through infrasound frequencies too low for human ears, yet these signals travel more than 6 miles through the ground. Elephants speak with their feet, sensing vibrations through the soles. A 2026 study by Gijsman and Palmer, published in Science, revealed a staggering truth. Remove elephants from an ecosystem and dung beetle populations collapse by 67%. Beetle species diversity drops by 23%. Dung decomposition slows by 35%. Without elephants, the unseen machinery of the savanna grinds to a halt. Elephants do not merely inhabit the savanna, they create it. Every tree toppled, every well excavated, every seed dispersed is a single brushstroke in the landscape that lions, Cape buffalo, hyenas, and every other species call home. Above every conflict stands a keeper of the stage. And should that stage collapse, every performer, predator and prey alike, vanishes with it. But the stage is crumbling, and this time the destroyer is neither Cape buffalo nor hyena. It is humanity. The lion, vulnerable. Roughly 23,000 individuals remain, extinct in 26 of 48 African nations. Only 5 populations exceed 1,000. The African elephant endangered since 2021. Approximately 415,000 individuals. Ivory poaching and habitat destruction drive this colossus closer to the edge with every passing year. The leopard, vulnerable globally, but endangered in West Africa since October 2025. A mere 354 mature individuals survive in the western reaches of the continent. 86 to 95% of their historic range has been lost. The true war is not between lion and Cape buffalo, not between leopard and baboon. The true war is waged between nature and the silent disappearance measured only in numbers. Each figure above represents a living, breathing individual hunting, fighting, struggling to survive. And each year, those numbers grow smaller. The savanna crowns no permanent ruler. The mightiest can be driven up a tree. The swiftest can be robbed of its kill. The most numerous can be repelled by a solitary bull. Yet one force without fangs, without claws, without horns is quietly rewriting every rule. And if that force does not relent, there will be no savanna left to fight over. On the African plains, the question is not who rules, The true question is, how much time remains? Thank you for journeying with nature's moments. The natural world holds countless stories still waiting to be told. We look forward to seeing you on the next adventure. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the perfect time. Every creature carries within it an extraordinary story, and Nature's Moments will continue bringing those stories to you. The 5th month of the dry season. Across the Masai Mara, the heat is no longer weather, it is pressure. A physical force bearing down on every living thing, wringing out every last drop of moisture, closing the gap between today and the final day. The grass died long ago. Only brittle stalks remain, collapsed across cracked earth like the bones of a land in its death throes. And in the middle of all this, a pride of lions lies beneath the sole remaining acacia within a 2-kilometer radius. In lion society, there is a truth that appearances often conceal. The male with his thick mane, massive frame, and a roar that carries 5 miles is the symbol of the pride. But symbols do not feed anyone. "90% of a lion pride's food comes from the females. They are 40% smaller than the males, nearly 150 pounds lighter, and precisely because of this, faster, more enduring, more agile in every stride of the chase. While the male defends territory and repels intruders, it is the females who keep the heart of the pride beating. Today, that heart must work twice as hard. The largest lioness in the pride, an old scar running the length of her muzzle from a hunt years ago, rises as the sun begins to angle westward. This is the moment. After hours of watching, the zebra herd has finally begun moving toward the eastern waterhole. And the hunters spring into action. The lead lioness stands, the others follow instantly, in absolute silence. Lionesses do not hunt with individual strength. They hunt through coordination, splitting directions, cutting off escape routes, and driving prey into fatal mistakes. The zebra herd is still drinking when tawny shapes begin to separate through the grass. The lead lioness locks her gaze on a zebra mare standing slightly apart from the herd. That is enough. The lead female explodes into a sprint. The herd detonates in chaos, but the zebra mare has already been cut off. She runs straight, and the lead lioness is already waiting ahead. The hunt ends just minutes after it began. Feeding order within a lion pride is never random. It is a social system enforced through strength and seniority. Normally, the male eats first. Not because he hunted, but because no one is strong enough to stop him. But today, the male cannot arrive in time. He rises slowly, limping toward the carcass, and by the time he reaches it, the females have been eating for 15 minutes. They do not yield immediately. They continue feeding, heads buried in the carcass, eyes never lifting. This is a rare sight. And a necessary one, because the cubs are waiting behind them. If the females do not eat enough, there will be no milk, no strength to hunt tomorrow, nothing to hold this pride together one more day. Night falls swiftly on the Savannah. The pride clusters around the carcass cubs, pressed tight against their mothers' bellies, the male lying apart on the outer edge, his hind leg stretched straight to ease the pressure on a swollen joint. And with the darkness, a cackling cry begins rising from the east. Spotted hyenas, the species most people still dismiss as scavengers, but that label is entirely wrong. Spotted hyenas are hunters, and not ordinary ones. Where lionesses hunt through ambush tactics, explosive bursts over short distances, concluded in minutes, hyenas hunt through endurance. They do not need to be faster than prey. They only need to last longer. A few miles from the lion pride, the hyena clan has launched its own hunt. Hyenas do not ambush. They charge straight out into the open and begin a long-distance pursuit. When the distance closes enough, the entire clan takes turns lunging in to bite and tear. Two styles of hunting, two entirely different philosophies, but the same result. On this savanna, no single tactic is universally correct, only the tactic suited to the creature that wields it. Dawn rises over the Masai Mara. The lion cubs scramble over their mother's back in the early light, carefree as though nothing happened the night before. And the lead female, the old scar on her muzzle, catching the morning sun, has already risen, gazing toward the horizon. No rest longer than necessary. Because the zebra herd is moving again. And the pride must eat again by this afternoon. On this savanna, no one is permitted to be merely a symbol. Everyone must work. And the ones who work most quietly are usually the ones keeping everything from falling apart. That is the law of the savanna. But not all power in nature belongs to the strongest. There exists a place on earth so vast, so ancient, and so chaotic that raw muscular strength becomes almost meaningless. A place where even the most fearsome predators must submit to an invisible force they can neither see nor resist. Welcome to the Amazon rainforest, 2.6 million square miles of wild tropical jungle. This is no peaceful green garden. This is the most brutal battleground for survival on the planet. Beneath the darkened canopy, millions of organisms compete for every sliver of living space. Here, the adaptable survive. The vulnerable are consumed. And within this colossal biological engine, one question has always persisted. Who truly rules the Amazon? To find the answer, we will not look upward to the top of the food chain. We will cast our gaze down to the very bottom where true power is quietly forged. Because in the Amazon, size has never been the measure of strength. In this Emerald Kingdom, organization is the supreme weapon. Beneath the thick layer of decaying leaves on the Amazon floor, an empire operates. Silent, disciplined, and more numerous than any army in human history. Leafcutter ants are nature's original farmers. Tens of millions of years before humans learned to cultivate, they had already domesticated fungi. Every day, millions of leafcutter ants leave the colony, climb tree trunks, slice leaf fragments with surgical precision, and carry them back on their bodies. But they do not eat the leaves. They grow their food. The leaves are chewed into pulp, mixed with saliva, then spread across fungal beds in a tunnel system deep underground. The fungus grows on this decomposing substrate, and that is the true meal for the entire colony. The first agriculture on this planet did not belong to humans. It belonged to an insect weighing less than 1/10 of a gram. A single leafcutter colony can number up to 8 million individuals, 8 million organisms functioning as a single body. And at the center of this empire, a single queen. The leafcutter queen lives 14 to 20 years. Over her lifetime, she produces more than 150 million daughters. $150 million. No creature on Earth, including humans, can generate a lineage that vast within a single lifetime. Every ant knows its exact role. Sentinel, cutter, transporter, fungus farmer. None needs teaching, none needs reminding. No central brain, no verbal commands, only pheromones. Pheromones, the chemical signals each ant secretes, are the invisible language of the empire. A single pheromone trail coordinates hundreds of thousands of individuals simultaneously, more precise than any communication system humans have ever devised. Each year, the colony processes tons of soil, excavating, aerating, recycling nutrients across the entire forest floor. Without ants, the Amazon's soil would suffocate. But the underground empire does not consist only of farmers. There are also invaders. Army ants are the perfect antithesis of the leafcutter. Where leafcutters build, army ants destroy. A single army ant raid mobilizes up to 200,000 individuals. They pour across the forest floor like a black river, stretching over 200 meters, obliterating everything in their path. Insects, spiders, scorpions, even small lizards, nothing escapes this army.
In the jungle, survival is a brutal battle.
The rustling of hundreds of thousands of tiny legs across dead leaves is the last sound many creatures ever hear. Army ants build no permanent nests. They construct bivouacs, living structures assembled from thousands of ants locking their legs together. This living wall shields the queen and larvae through the night. When dawn arrives, the bivouac dismantles. The army marches again. No rest, no negotiation, no borders. Whether building or destroying, this is not mere instinct. This is the mathematics of evolution honed across tens of millions of years, more refined than any governance system ever conceived. If the jaguar is the symbol of power in the Amazon, then ants are the foundation keeping the entire forest running. Strength does not reside in size. It resides in organization. But the ground is only the tip of the iceberg. Beneath the water, a world far more terrifying awaits, where power is measured not by fangs or claws, but by something entirely invisible. Up to 8 feet long, weighing nearly 44 pounds. It looks more like a rotting log than a predator, but appearances deceive. This is the electric eel, and it carries within its body a weapon no other species on Earth possesses. The electric eel is not, in truth, an eel at all. It belongs to the order Gymnotiformes, the knifefish more closely related to catfish and carp. The name eel is a centuries-old mistake. The elongated shape fooled everyone. Biologically, it is an entirely different animal. Inside the electric eel's body lie 3 separate electrical organs: the main organ, Sachs organ, and Hunter's organ. Each organ serves a distinct purpose, and this division of function stands as evidence of millions of years of evolutionary refinement. Sax's organ emits weak electrical pulses, 10 to 100 volts, not for attack, but to see. This is a biological sonar system. Electrical waves radiate outward, bounce off surrounding objects, and paint a three-dimensional map of the underwater environment. In the opaque water where ordinary eyes are useless, the electric eel perceives the world through its electric field. Every organism passing through creates a disturbance, and the eel detects it. When the target enters range, hunting mode engages. "80% of its body consists of cells stacked upon each other like thousands of batteries. When the command fires, all discharge simultaneously. A massive electrical pulse surges through the murky water. The prey has no time to react. Muscles lock. The nervous system shuts down. The contest ends in milliseconds. For larger targets, the electric eel coils its body around the victim like a tightening electromagnet, doubling the intensity of the lethal strike. No claws, no fangs. Power in the Amazon is sometimes completely invisible. But the electric eel is not the only creature making the Amazon River deadly. There is another army far smaller, but 1,000 times more numerous. When people mention piranhas, Hollywood has built a legend, a ravenous school capable of stripping a cow to bone in minutes. That legend is almost entirely false. The red-bellied piranha Pygocentris natureri reaches a maximum of about 13 inches, weighing roughly 7.5 pounds, far smaller than the movies suggest. But do not confuse size with power. The piranha's teeth are among the most perfect weapons evolution has ever produced. Triangular, razor-sharp, interlocking like scissor blades. Bite force relative to body size ranks among the strongest in the freshwater fish world. But the scientific truth is more surprising than any horror film. Piranhas are primarily scavengers. Most of the time they feed on carrion, insects that fall into the water, seeds, even algae. The cinematic killer Hollywood invented? It barely exists. Feeding frenzies, collective feeding explosions, are exceedingly rare. They occur only when piranhas are desperately starved or when dropping water levels crowd hundreds into shallow pools. In reality, piranhas are rather timid. They typically avoid large objects, and most of their lives pass in caution rather than aggression. Piranhas possess a lateral line system running along both flanks, detecting vibrations in the water with remarkable precision. When a piranha is wounded, chemical signals disperse through the water. The entire school reacts immediately, not to cannibalize, but to mount a collective defense. Piranha teeth shed and regrow throughout their lives, always sharp, always ready. Evolution equipped them with a self-repairing arsenal. Hundreds of small brains, connected through chemistry and vibration, reacting in an instant. They act as a single organism. The piranha's true role is not killer. They are the sanitation crew, clearing carcasses, preventing disease, keeping the river healthy. Without piranhas, animal carcasses would accumulate. Bacteria would bloom. Thousands of other fish species would perish from epidemic disease. The razor-toothed army keeps the river clean so that life may continue. But there is one predator that hunts piranhas as though they were easy prey, a hunter that preys upon the cleaners themselves. The giant otter Pteronura brasiliensis, the longest otter species in the world. "6 feet from nose to tail, 48 to 75 pounds of pure muscle." IUCN classifies them as endangered. The fur trade of the 20th century nearly erased this species from existence. Today, mercury contamination from artisanal gold mining, deforestation, and dam construction continue to threaten the remaining populations. Their future hangs by a thread. But in the river stretches where they still endure, giant otters are the one adversary nobody wants to face. They hunt in groups 3 to 8 or more, moving in synchrony underwater at speeds around 9 miles per hour. A double-layered, waterproof coat keeps their bodies warm in cold currents. Not a single drop of water touches the skin beneath. The giant otter's call pierces through heavy jungle. Each individual possesses a unique vocalization, an acoustic fingerprint. Researchers have documented more than 20 distinct sound types, from warning barks to hunting screams. Complex group communication, precise cooperative hunting. This is not a wild animal pack. This is a tactical unit. When hunting fish, the group fans out in a line, driving schools into shallow water. Each otter holds a position like players on a pitch. Each day, a single giant otter consumes 6 to 9 pounds of fish. Multiply that across the group, the quantity of fish vanishing daily is staggering. And here lies the most remarkable fact. Giant otters hunt piranhas. The cleaners become the prey. The piranha's razor teeth become meaningless against the speed, coordination, and bite force of the otter. The hunter that hunts the creature everyone fears. But piranhas are not the most formidable opponent. Giant otters confront even black caimans, the largest predator in the Amazon basin. When facing a black caiman, the entire otter group surrounds it, lunging in to bite from multiple directions, creating chaos. The caiman, despite outweighing them tenfold, is overwhelmed by coordination. A group of 20 otters can force a black caiman into retreat. The collective defeats the individual. Numbers plus discipline outweigh solitary strength. That is, the law giant otters have proven across millions of years. The one who controls the river might seem to hold supreme power. But the Amazon is not only water. Where water meets land, muddy riverbanks, submerged root systems, darkness beneath the canopy, the true rulers finally emerge. do you think truly rules the Amazon? Share your thoughts in the comments below. But the most terrifying chapter has yet to begin. At the riverbank, where water meets land, three of the planet's most powerful predators share a single territory. Three apex predators, three creatures strong enough to kill anything, and none willing to yield. The first has been here since before the dinosaurs vanished. It is the immortal shadow of the Amazon. The black caiman Melanosuchus niger, the largest crocodilian in the Amazon basin. Adults reach 16 to 20 feet, weighing several hundred pounds. Jet black skin not by accident. In the blackwater regions of the Amazon, where tannins from decaying leaves stain the river the color of dark tea, the black caiman disappears completely. Perfect camouflage. The predator becomes the darkness, and darkness never warns before it strikes. The black caiman's eyes see through the dark courtesy of the tapetum lucidum, reflecting the faintest light, turning pitch-black night into broad daylight. It lies motionless for hours, only its eyes and nostrils breaking the surface. Patience is the strategy, time is the ally. After feeding, the black caiman can fast for weeks, even months. A metabolic rate slowed to perfection across millions of years transforms each meal into a long-term investment. In the 20th century, the black caiman nearly vanished. The hide trade pushed them to the brink of extinction. CITES Appendix 1. The highest level of protection was the last lifeline keeping this species from the abyss. Today, populations have recovered tens of thousands of individuals in the wild, primarily within protected reserves. But the future remains fragile. The black caiman has survived 65 million years of upheaval through ice ages, through the extinction of the dinosaurs. Ancient, patient, nearly invincible, but even the black caiman has something to fear. In the darkness where submerged roots tangle beneath the surface, another creature waits, more silent, more patient, and possessing the purest brute force in the reptile world. The green anaconda Eunectes murinus, the heaviest snake on Earth. reaching 20 feet in length, a body as thick as a tree trunk, heavier than any serpent that has ever lived. The anaconda is the supreme ambush specialist. Eyes and nostrils positioned atop the head, allowing it to lie almost completely submerged, exposing only 2 tiny points above the waterline. Prey never sees it coming until it is too late. When the anaconda strikes, it does not bite to kill. It constricts. Coil after coil of solid muscle wraps around the victim, and with every exhalation the coils tighten. But the killing mechanism is not suffocation as long believed. Modern research by Dr. Scott Bobak has demonstrated that death comes from circulatory arrest. The crushing pressure sends blood pressure soaring. The heart can no longer pump. Internal organs fail. Within minutes, the prey dies not from lack of air, but because the blood stops flowing. Circulatory arrest. A silent death, efficient and more merciless than any venom. Once the prey is dead, the anaconda dislocates its lower jaw. The bones can separate entirely and swallows the victim whole, often consuming animals larger than itself. The swallowing process can take hours. The anaconda's entire body distorts, stretching and bending around the prey like a living sack. A single large meal can sustain an anaconda for weeks, even months. During that time, it lies motionless, digesting slowly, invisible among roots and mud. Safe in the water, sluggish on land. The anaconda is a creature of 2 worlds, but truly dangerous only when water is the battlefield. Silent, patient, overwhelming force. The anaconda needs no speed. It needs only a single opportunity. The black caiman dominates through bite force. The anaconda dominates through constriction. But there is a third one capable of hunting both. The jaguar Panthera onca, the uncrowned king of the Amazon. The strongest bite force among all big cats, 1,000 to 1,500 pounds per square inch. Stronger than a lion, stronger than a Bengal tiger pound for pound. And the jaguar does not bite the neck like a lion, nor the belly like a leopard. It bites directly through the skull-piercing bone, striking the brain, a technique unique among the great cats. One bite. Instant termination. But what makes the jaguar the supreme apex predator is not bite force alone, it is adaptability. It swims powerfully, one of the few big cats that hunts in water. It sees in darkness, courtesy of tapetum lucidum, reflecting every faint ray of light. The rosette-patterned coat is not merely beautiful. Each rosette disrupts the body's outline, transforming the jaguar into dappled fragments of light on the forest floor. Flawless camouflage beneath the filtered canopy. At night, the jaguar becomes virtually invisible. Soft paws tread soundlessly across dead leaves. Prey becomes aware of its presence only when everything is already too late. The jaguar hunts caimans. It leaps from the riverbank, biting through the caiman's skull from behind. The attack concludes in seconds before the caiman can even turn. No other big cat on Earth possesses this skill. Hunting armored reptiles in water, that is the exclusive domain of the Amazon jaguar. A predator that operates on land, in water, and in the trees. There is nowhere in the Amazon the jaguar cannot reach. The Amazon holds 89% of the global jaguar population. Losing the Amazon means losing the jaguar and losing the keystone species that maintains balance across the entire ecosystem. IUCN classifies the jaguar as near threatened. Deforestation, habitat loss, and human conflict shrink their territory every year. Weighing over 220 pounds in the Amazon, where prey is most abundant, jaguars here are significantly larger than their Central American counterparts. Massive size, superior bite force, limitless adaptability. The jaguar stands as the pinnacle of evolution in the Amazon. But even the pinnacle is not safe. Three creatures at the top of the food chain. Three beings powerful enough to kill anything within their domain. But none of them is truly safe. The black caiman can be ambushed by the jaguar. The anaconda can be torn apart by the black caiman. Jaguar cubs can be constricted to death by the anaconda. This is the law of the Amazon. There is no invincible predator, only one that has not yet met the right opponent. The power triangle caiman, it is three prisoners locked in a cycle from which none can escape. And that is the answer to the question posed at the beginning, but not the answer most would expect. Every year, 4,281 square miles of Amazon rainforest disappear according to 2020 data from INPE, Brazil's National Institute for Space Research. "4,000 square miles. Equivalent to the area of a small nation, every single year." When the forest vanishes, the food chain collapses. Ants lose the forest floor, spiders lose the darkness, electric eels lose the waterways, piranhas lose the rivers. Giant otters endangered. Jaguars near threatened. Black caimans barely pulled back from the edge of extinction, now facing new threats. Climate change extends the dry season. Rivers shrink. Aquatic predators lose their shelter. And when the water recedes, every conflict grows more savage. Artisanal gold mining pumps mercury into the rivers, poisoning fish, poisoning otters, poisoning the indigenous communities living along the water's edge. Numbers do not lie, but numbers cannot tell the whole story. The Amazon is not merely a forest, it is a lung. It is an oxygen factory. It is a climate shield for the entire planet. And it is being destroyed faster than any ecosystem on Earth. But amid all this destruction, the original question still echoes: who truly rules the Amazon? Not the jaguar, though its bite pierces through skulls. Not the black caiman, though its armor is older than the dinosaurs. Not the anaconda, not the electric eel, not the piranha. The true ruler of the Amazon is the ecosystem as a whole, where the smallest, most silent organisms keep everything running. Remember the ant empire from the beginning of this story. 8 million individuals, 150 million daughters from a single queen, tons of soil processed every year. Without ants, the forest floor suffocates. Without piranhas, the rivers fester. Without otters, fish populations collapse. Without electric eels, the underwater ecological web fractures. Every organism, from the smallest to the largest, is a single link. Remove one link, and the entire chain falls apart. Strength does not reside in size. It resides in organization, in connection, in a balance that only nature can create. That is the most ancient law of the Amazon, a law that 2.6 million square miles of rainforest has obeyed for millions of years. Within the heart of this planet, there is a place where life turns most savage. A place that does not belong to humankind. And perhaps should not. Thank you for joining Nature's Moments. The natural world still holds countless stories waiting to be told. We will see you on the next journey. For those who have not yet subscribed, now is the time. Because the Amazon and the astonishing creatures within it deserves to be known by more people. On the vast plains of Uganda, peace is a fleeting luxury. The worst drought in a decade is wringing the life from this land, pushing every creature to its absolute limit. And when desperation reigns, the most primal of conflicts will ignite. Among them, few spectacles can rival the clash between a lion and a Cape buffalo. On one side, the continent's most fabled predator. A calculated sovereign whose masterful skill has placed it firmly at the apex of the food chain. Leading the charge are the males, gliding through the tall grass like gilded phantoms. Their target is a colossal buffalo weighing nearly 2,000 pounds, separated from its herd. The hunt begins, and the Savannah transforms into a battlefield. A stark contrast, the brute force of tooth and claw against the iron discipline of the herd. To hunt a buffalo is a perilous gamble. One wrong move can mean disaster. A primal struggle that has echoed across the African wilderness for countless generations. As the midday heat peaks, turning the savanna into a vast furnace, even the top predators are forced to retreat. Sated and weary, the lions withdraw into the sparse shade of thorn bushes, leaving the buffalo carcass to the blistering sun. But in Uganda, The end of one hunt is merely the signal for a new contest to begin. The feast is now passed to the great scavengers. From the endless, glaring sky, dark shadows descend. Vultures, the masterful navigators of the upper air, have sensed death from miles away. They land in a calculated chaos, spreading their vast wings to intimidate rivals, fighting for every last scrap of flesh. Yet their dominance is short-lived. The midday stillness is soon shattered by chilling wild cries. A clan of spotted hyenas arrives. One should not be deceived by their somewhat furtive appearance. These are true bone-crushing machines. With a tyrannical bite force, they effortlessly tear apart the ribcage the lions left behind. They do not just eat the meat, they pulverize the hardest bones to extract the nutrient-rich marrow within. Every crunch is an assertion of their absolute power in the second tier of the food chain. Lingering on the outer circle are the jackals. Small but cunning, they wait patiently, their furtive eyes tracking the rhythm of the hyena clan. Under the searing sun, a miniature ecosystem is operating with astonishing perfection. Blood, flesh and bone, nothing is wasted. Death, however brutal, becomes the very source that sustains dozens of other creatures, completing a cycle in this wild land that is eternal and unforgiving. Deep in the heart of East Africa, Uganda emerges as an ancient, wild kingdom, where life still flows to a primal rhythm. From its mist-shrouded rainforests to its golden savannas and winding river valleys, this is a miraculous world of adaptation and survival. Here, every creature, great and small, plays an indispensable role in nature's grand symphony. In Uganda, nature is not merely a backdrop. It is a living story told in every footprint on the soil, every call from the treetops, and every ripple on the river's surface. But this kingdom is changing. Survival no longer demands adaptation just to the tooth and claw of a predator. All species must now contend with a more devastating, invisible foe, a warming world. The wilderness is forced to write a harsher chapter with every dawn. While the great predators command the dramatic spotlight, another resident plays an equally vital role in shaping this dynamic ecosystem. The African elephant, the largest land mammal on the planet. Their presence is not just an existence, it is a reshaping of the entire landscape. With a diet consisting entirely of vegetation, a single adult can consume between 330 and 440 pounds of plant matter each day. These giants are the true architects of the ecosystem. By toppling trees, they create open spaces, allowing sunlight to reach the ground and encouraging the growth of fresh grasses, the lifeblood of zebra and antelope. But the elephant's true power is most evident when the heat becomes unforgiving. In the dry season, when riverbeds are but hot sand and resources are scarce, elephants display a remarkable intelligence and ingenuity. Using their powerful tusks and feet, they dig deep into the dry riverbeds in search of water. Beneath the scorched sand, they reach the water table. These temporary wells not only sustain the elephant herds but also become lifelines for countless other species struggling with thirst. Without the elephant's excavations, death would be the certain fate for many smaller creatures. The social life of elephants is as magnificent as their impact on the land. Led by an experienced matriarch, these tight-knit family units hold knowledge of secret water sources and safe migration routes passed down through decades. When threatened, they form protective circles around their young, a formidable display of unity that is enough to make even lions retreat. In this land, one realizes a profound truth. The greatest power lies not in the claws of the hunter, but in the strength that nurtures and protects life, belonging to these gentle giants. As the giants' footsteps fade into the dusty haze, the legacy they leave behind begins to speak. The temporary wells in the dry riverbeds now become focal points of survival, drawing a diverse community in desperate need of life. The warthog enters, with its rugged appearance and an unshakable spirit of determination. With dark, bristly skin that serves as natural armor against the savanna's harshness, this compact creature gets to work as an expert excavator. Its snout easily breaks through the hard-packed earth to find roots and hidden nutrients. Though it often chooses to retreat into the bush when cornered, the warthog reveals a fierce courage, ready to use its sharp tusks to injure any careless predator. Its strength and resolve make it a surprisingly formidable opponent, even for the savanna's heavyweights. Yet, the warthog values freedom over confrontation. Whenever it senses an escape route, it will bolt towards dense vegetation or nearby burrows, using the landscape to conceal itself and evade danger. It lives in a balance of bravery and caution. And that delicate blend is what ensures its survival in one of Africa's most challenging environments. Under the brilliant sun, the stripes of a zebra herd create a mesmerizing visual display. Their bold black and white patterns are more than just individual markings. They are a living defense system. As the herd moves as one around the water source, the stripes create a shimmering, disorienting barrier that makes it a formidable challenge for a lion or leopard to single out an individual target. The silence is broken by the explosive leaps of the impala. An embodiment of speed and instinct, its slender, agile body can weave through threats with astonishing grace. Each bound into the air is not merely flight, but a calculated display of evasion, a life preserved by the narrowest of margins. Standing as a monument to quiet strength, the eland surveys the savanna as the largest of all antelope. With remarkable heat tolerance, the eland can extract nutrients from the driest, toughest shrubs that other species ignore. Its massive body and long, spiraled horns are not only an effective defense against lions, but also a testament to its resilience in a dry season without a single drop of rain. The eland can extract essential nutrients from dry, coarse vegetation, which many herbivores struggle with, and can survive without constant access to large water sources. This makes it one of the most capable survivors of the dry season. With its superior height, it browses on leaves and branches beyond the reach of other animals, accessing food in areas smaller species cannot. Though not a predator, its size and strength make it a potential target for male lions and hyenas. However, its muscular legs and formidable horns provide an effective defense, and its ability to move into more rugged terrain further increases its chances of survival. Eland often form small family groups rather than large herds, coordinating their defense and keeping watch for potential threats. Their presence on the savanna is a reminder of nature's resilience, where sheer strength and adaptability ensure that life persists even in the harshest conditions. The eland's resilience is being tested by a hunting party on the brink of desperation. Concealed in the thorn scrub, a pride of lionesses. The backbone of the pride now shows gaunt rib cages beneath sun-darkened coats, carrying the sharp edge of those who have not eaten in days. In their desperation, they take their positions, moving like golden specters through the dry grass. A thunderous charge shatters the stillness. Though the eland possesses formidable horns and a massive frame, it cannot withstand the devastating coordination of a pride maddened by hunger. The giant falls in a cloud of dust, its life given to sustain a lion dynasty on the verge of collapse. Not far away, topis stand proudly on elevated mounds of earth. With their sharp awareness, they are devoted sentinels, constantly monitoring the slightest ripple of danger from kilometers away. They are well adapted to harsh areas with little water and use dense vegetation for cover when threatened, relying on speed and agility to escape their enemies. Yet, despite these skills, the topi remains part of an unforgiving natural cycle, facing constant competition and the ever-present threat of predators. Socially, topi form small family groups or medium-sized herds. This structure allows the adults to protect the younger, more vulnerable members in the center while standing guard at the periphery. The cooperative behavior of these groups highlights the importance of teamwork and vigilance for survival in the challenging savanna environment. Among the tall residents of the Ugandan savanna, The Rothschild's giraffe is distinguished by its sheer height and elegance. Its long legs and a neck, adorned with distinctive patches, make it one of the most majestic creatures in the region. Its stature gives it a unique advantage. It can browse on leaves that other herbivores cannot reach, reducing competition and ensuring access to the best resources. Despite its size, the giraffe moves with a deliberate, unhurried grace. It browses slowly while maintaining a vigilant watch over its surroundings. This sharp vision allows it to spot predators like lions and leopards from a great distance. And if threatened, it can defend itself with powerful forward kicks, strong enough to deter most attackers. Feeding mainly on treetop leaves, the Rothschild's giraffe covers large areas of the savanna, adapting to different types of vegetation along the way. This constant movement helps it stay healthy and resilient, making the most of the land while living in harmony with the natural cycles of its environment. The Rothschild's giraffe is a prime example of adaptation at its finest. Its height, strength, and vigilance combine for survival in a competitive ecosystem. Observing this creature reveals how nature balances fragility and power, creating an animal that is both graceful and resilient on the vast African plains. But as the heat continues to tighten its grip, even the most reliable wells begin to run dry. The scent of distant water begins to call a promise of life, but also the whisper of death. From the cracked grasslands, survival instinct drives the herds away from the protection of the giants and towards the lower reaches of the Nile. They are unaware that beneath the deceptively calm, shimmering surface, ancient eyes have been waiting patiently for a very long time. A new battlefield is opening, where the victor is not the strongest, but the one who can wait for the perfect moment. In rivers like the White Nile, the cool water is the last bastion against the Savannah's searing heat. The hippopotamus, the river's lumbering giant, spends most of its life submerged to protect its sensitive skin from the scorching sun. Though their bulky forms suggest slowness, they are astonishingly fast, capable of charging at nearly 20 miles per hour underwater. The merciless drought is forcing this creature into a dangerous trade-off. Depleted food sources drive the hippos from the safety of the river, compelling them to trek across cracked plains under the harsh sun to find the almost 90 pounds of grass they need each day. Despite their seemingly lethargic demeanor, they are among Africa's most territorial and dangerous animals. With jaws that can open to an extraordinary degree and razor-sharp tusks, their explosive power can inflict horrific wounds on any intruder. But the hippos are not the river's only nightmare. Here, Nile crocodiles, creatures seemingly forgotten by time, are engaged in a quiet ritual of survival. These ancient predators are basking, claiming the most strategic positions along the water's edge. They lie as motionless as armored statues. After a bloody feast on migrating wildebeest, the crocodiles need extreme heat to activate their intensely powerful stomach acids. Lying side by side, they create a thermal advantage. The heat from one body warms another, forming a vast biological furnace to digest everything from femur to hoof. While basking, a crocodile can engage in unihemispheric sleep. One half of the brain rests, while the other remains fully alert, ever watchful for enemies. They appear entirely static, yet with each passing second, their brains process thousands of inputs, changes in air pressure, the faintest vibrations. This is not lethargy. It is the storing of power for a single decisive moment yet to come. But the order of this riverbank is about to be challenged by a force from the mainland. A power capable of shattering the stillness of these prehistoric reptiles. A herd of African elephants emerges. For these giants, the river is more than just a place to quench their thirst. It is a sanctuary for renewing family bonds. Led by a matriarch who carries the memories of decades within her. The herd's majestic presence instantly strips the ancient predators of their dominance. One wise crocodile chooses retreat, launching into the murky water to preserve its life. The arrival of these gentle giants swiftly alters the entire scene. Prompting the other armored assassins to silently abandon their posts, melting back into the river. It is a silent admission of an overwhelming power. As the elephants claim the riverbank, a more fundamental order is asserted. A testament to the intricate system of invisible connections that weaves together all life on the Savannah. As the banks of the Nile settle after the brutal confrontations, life once again takes to the skies, where the birds begin to write a new chapter in the epic of survival. Far from the blood-tinged waters, in the quiet wetlands, a ghost from a prehistoric age emerges from among the reeds and papyrus, the shoebill. With its enormous, stone-hard beak and a chilling stare, it can stand motionless for hours, like a wooden statue carved from the past. This patience is not laziness, but a lethal weapon honed over millions of years of evolution. The moment a lungfish carelessly surfaces from the mud, that beak strikes with the speed of a lightning bolt, sealing the prey's fate. Under the burning sun, it is a symbol of absolute stillness, a solitary predator that reigns over the misty backwaters. Meanwhile, on the sun-drenched grasslands, the secretary bird chooses to stride across the earth on long, elegant legs rather than soar above. One should not be fooled by its long eyelashes and aristocratic bearing, for this is a specialist assassin of the Savannah's most venomous snakes. It moves like a dancer on a stage of death, its sharp eyes missing no vibration in the dry grass. When facing its foe, it delivers thunderous stomps with a force 5 times its own body weight, powerful enough to crush an opponent's skull in a single motion. It is a perfect fusion of regal beauty and destructive power, a terrestrial warrior that never retreats from danger. Above it all, the majestic cry of the African fish eagle spirals through the air, a sound so iconic it is known as the voice of Africa. With broad wings resplendent in the morning sun, it carves circles of authority in the sky above the roiling river. Its piercing yellow eyes can penetrate the water's surface from hundreds of feet away, locking onto targets hidden beneath the silvered waves. In an instant, it tucks its wings and dives like an arrow, using talons as sharp as razors to lift its prey from the water in a dance of power and precision. Every wing beat and every sharp glance from above contributes to the magnificent symphony of survival played out under the sun. When these wings come to rest in the high branches, they make way for a new chapter in the struggle, one that continues quietly in the sweltering shade. In the oppressive heat of the day, when most creatures seek refuge from the scorching sun, a silent phantom is on the move. The African leopard. Its slender body, adorned with rosettes of gold and black, blends perfectly with the harsh sunlight and sparse shadows of the dry foliage. While lions and cheetahs are exhausted by the heat, this solitary assassin sees it as a golden opportunity. The drought demands extreme patience. It can lie motionless for hours, still as a stone, its cool eyes scanning the sun-drenched landscape for a young antelope or a troop of monkeys weakened by thirst. Its keen eyesight and acute hearing capture the most desperate movements from a great distance. And when the moment comes, the midday stillness is torn apart. It lunges with lethal speed and precision, dispatching its small prey before a cry can even escape. But in this thirsty land, making the kill is only half the battle. The scent of fresh blood quickly evaporates and travels far in the hot, dry air, alerting the keen noses of scavengers. Wasting not a second, the leopard displays its extraordinary strength. Clamping its jaws on the prey, sometimes heavier than its own body, it uses its sharp claws to haul the carcass high into the branches of a tree. This is the ultimate survival strategy. Its meal is suspended, perfectly safe from the reach of lions and hyenas, who can only look up from below in helpless frustration. In an environment where resources are unpredictable, the cunning and vertical power of this solitary hunter are a perfect testament to adaptability and resilience. From the rolling savannas to the dark, dense forests of Uganda, the wild world continues its eternal rhythm. Elephant herds move with a quiet majesty. Lions assert their dominance under the setting sun, and countless other creatures struggle daily to survive against all odds. In this land, we come to realize an evident truth. The greatest power belongs not to the tooth and claw of the hunter, but to the strength that nurtures and sustains life. However, this ancient kingdom stands on the precipice of a profound change. The most devastating battle for survival that all species now face is no longer fought by the laws of the jungle, but against the harsh realities of a changing global climate. The delicate balance of nature has nurtured this planet for millions of years. Under the crimson sunset of the Savannah, each individual is an inseparable part of a sophisticated and miraculous web of life. And though our journey may end here, ensuring that this great symphony continues to play for all the dawns to come is now entirely in our hands. High above, the stillness of the forest is suddenly shattered. Immense wings churn the air, a heavy rhythm asserting the dominance of the hornbill, the sovereign of Borneo's skies. This island is a sanctuary for 8 distinct species of hornbill. But most striking is the rhinoceros hornbill, a living icon of the island. Its hollow casque acts as a resonance chamber, amplifying calls that carry for miles to mark territorial boundaries. Their lives are inextricably linked to ancient, towering trees. The continuity of their lineage depends entirely upon these hollow trunks. During the breeding season, the female seals herself within, using mud to wall off the nest entrance. She remains there for weeks, molting and nurturing new life in total seclusion. The weight of the world now rests solely upon the male's shoulders. The survival of the entire family depends on his loyalty and endurance. By consuming large fruits that smaller birds cannot, hornbills carry seeds across vast distances. Their flights initiate a continuous process of rebirth, redrawing the map of the forest. They are the great sours of the wilderness. Among these branches, we also find the Bornean orangutan, the titan guarding the soul of Southeast Asian jungles. Weighing nearly 200 pounds, they are the largest arboreal animals on our planet. Mature males possess large cheek pads, which help project their territorial calls across several miles. With an arm span reaching 6.5 feet, these steel-like levers allow them to make impossible reaches across dangerous voids. To move such a massive frame requires immense energy. Intelligence is their ultimate tool. An orangutan's brain holds a complex cognitive map of hundreds of fruit trees in three-dimensional space. More importantly, it masters the growth cycles of every individual species. When the dry season turns the forest into a hungry green desert, the orangutan knows exactly which tree will bear fruit tomorrow. After 8 months of gestation, the female begins an uninterrupted 7-year commitment. This is the longest weaning and nursing period of any mammal, surpassed only by humans. It is a rigorous course in survival, where every secret of the jungle is meticulously passed to the next generation. The canopy is a safe fortress, but sometimes hunger forces them to do the unthinkable. Descending to the forest floor is a step into extreme risk. Their bodies are not built for the ground, turning the king of the trees into a sluggish exile. In the shadows of the dense undergrowth, the forest's top predators are waiting. In the lower strata of the canopy, where light is swallowed by shadow, a ghost awakens. This is the realm of the sunder-clouded leopard, a mystery of the Bornean wilds. It is often regarded as a modern incarnation of the ancient saber-toothed cats. It possesses canines over 2 inches long, the largest relative to body size in the feline family. Where the forest meets the river, life flourishes in a different fashion. The proboscis monkey is an extraordinary species found nowhere else but Borneo. They make their homes along the riverbanks, where dense vegetation provides a natural stronghold. In their society, the larger the nose, the higher the status. The nose serves as a resonance chamber, amplifying calls to warn rivals and entice mates. To survive on nutrient-poor mangrove leaves, they have evolved a complex, multi-chambered stomach similar to ruminants. Billions of symbiotic bacteria work tirelessly to break down cellulose and neutralize plant toxins. This adaptation allows them to exploit a food source that other competitors must ignore. However, life by the water is fraught with constant peril. When food becomes scarce, they must make a daring choice. Just beneath the silt of Borneo's rivers, the saltwater crocodile waits with infinite patience. Reaching lengths that can exceed 20 feet, this is the largest living reptile, the supreme monarch of brackish waters. Its rugged hide provides perfect camouflage, rendering it invisible until the very last moment. Thousands of sensitive pressure receptors on its jaw act as a radar system, detecting vibrations from dozens of yards away. Its bite exerts a force of 3,700 pounds per square inch, the most powerful in the animal kingdom. In Borneo, a single moment of inattention can cost one's life. Yet in this unforgiving realm, there are giants that know no fear. Emerging from the mist, the Bornean elephant appears in all its majesty. Their true strength lies not in their tusks, nor their trunks containing 40,000 muscles. That strength is found in unity and collective wisdom. The herd is led by the oldest and most sagacious female. Her brain is a living library, retaining maps of every water source and meadow for the past 60 years. When a calf goes astray, the matriarch emits infrasonic signals below 20 Hz. This sound travels through the ground for miles to summon the members. A defensive formation is immediately activated. A natural strategy, where the family is the beginning and the end of all protection. This is the eternal truth of Borneo's ancient forest, where harshness and compassion weave the symphony of existence. Further down, where fierce rivers carve into the mountain foothills, the face of the forest begins to shift. One must never mistake the gentleness of a herbivore for weakness. The sambar deer is the largest deer in Southeast Asia and one of the island's most robust land mammals. With a weight that can reach 550 pounds, its body is a mass of muscle and steel-like sinew. Sambar are highly selective browsers. They seek out only the most nutrient-rich young leaves, shoots, and fallen fruits. This premium fuel is converted directly into muscular power and tools of authority. But the stature of a giant is also a burden. In the eyes of predators, a sambar is a massive, mobile reservoir of protein. Consequently, they have developed a sixth sense, profound suspicion. Large ears rotate constantly like radar to detect the slightest hint of danger. Quiet strength combined with hypervigilance has made the sambar a symbol of resilience. Following in the tracks of giants is the sun bear. Though the smallest bear on Earth, this 5-foot creature possesses an ego larger than any other forest inhabitant. Nature has equipped it with a perfect toolkit. Its claws are specialized for climbing and tearing through wood. Its tongue can extend 10 inches, a record among all bear species. Loose skin around the neck acts as biological armor, allowing it to ignore the stings of 1,000 bees. This fearless temperament creates a perimeter of respect that gives even the most formidable predators pause. As night falls, the forest's pocket-sized hunters finally awaken. This is the tarsier, a primate measuring barely 4 inches in length. Immense eyes, larger than its own brain, are designed to capture every stray photon of light. Because they are so large, these eyes are fixed within the skull. To compensate, nature granted the tarsier a miraculous neck that can rotate nearly 270 degrees. The tarsier is the only primate in the world that is entirely carnivorous. Its existence depends on fresh protein from insects and small reptiles. The secret is in the hind legs, which feature unusually long tarsal bones. In an instant, it can launch itself 40 times its own body length. They communicate via ultrasound at 91 kHz, well beyond the hearing of predators like owls or snakes. The survival of this ancient lineage is bound to the health of the primary forest. Further north, a shadow battalion seizes control of the night sky. These are the flying foxes, the inverted monarchs of the High Kingdom. This is the largest fruit bat on Earth, with a leathery wingspan of 5 feet. In reality, their wings are hands with elongated fingers, connected by a thin membrane called the patagium. Unlike their smaller echolocating cousins, flying foxes rely on keen eyes and a sharp nose to detect ripening fruit from afar. On their nightly foraging expeditions, some wings must carry a double burden. A pup must cling tightly to its mother with feet and claws, becoming an inseparable part of her aerial acrobatics. Though many fear their appearance, the flying fox is a keystone species for this ecosystem. As they fly, tons of seeds are dispersed throughout the forest. They are the most industrious planters, reconnecting isolated fragments of green. When the sun sets, the ancient forest does not sleep. It merely shifts its cadence. The Sunda pangolin is the only mammal on Earth to trade warm fur for a suit of cold armor. Over 900 keratin scales overlap to create an impregnable shield. When threatened, it curls into a dense, armored sphere. Tragically, this very perfection has become the cause of its downfall. Humans have turned this proud armor into baseless traditional medicines, pushing the Sunda pangolin toward extinction. In the battle against greed, Borneo's best protected creature is failing to survive. The green peafowl, or Indonesian peacock, is a rare bird of regal splendor. Males can grow to 7 feet in length, adorned with metallic green plumage and a train featuring eye-like patterns. The breeding season coincides with the rains, when males display their fans in complex dances to attract mates. However, the green peafowl is critically threatened by habitat loss and illegal hunting. Deep within the tropical forests of Java, The whole exists silently like a crimson spectre. The result of millions of years of evolution, it has become one of Southeast Asia's most effective pack hunters. Dholes hunt in packs of 5 to 12, coordinating through long whistles that echo through the forest. Yet, the dhole is classified as endangered, with only about 2,500 to 3,000 individuals remaining. Sumatra is a cradle of biodiversity, where many endemic species struggle to survive in the forest's shadow. Amidst the dense foliage, the silence is broken by the silent footfalls of the Sumatran tiger. It is the last remaining tiger subspecies in Indonesia and the smallest of all tigers. Its modest size is not a weakness, but a sophisticated adaptation to the dense jungle. A compact, agile body allows it to weave through tangled vines and narrow trails where prey least expects it. Its vivid orange coat with thick, bold black stripes allows it to dissolve into the forest's dappled light. These patterns are more than mere markings. They are perfect camouflage that shatters its silhouette. In this world of shadow and patience, it is a master of concealment, the ghost of the Sumatran forest. But that authority is now more fragile than ever. As the forest is fragmented by roads and plantations, its territory continues to shrink. With only a few hundred left in the wild, every step of the Sumatran tiger is more than a hunt. It is a silent battle for the survival of an entire wilderness legacy. Hidden within Sumatra's thickest foliage, a phantom from prehistoric times still endures. This is the Sumatran rhinoceros, the smallest and most ancient rhino species on Earth. It is the closest living relative to the woolly rhinoceros, a relic of an ice age that ended millennia ago. With its thin coat of hair and two small horns, it carries the imprint of a world long gone. But this echo from the past is slowly fading away. Today, this solitary and shy creature exists only in Sumatra and a small pocket of Borneo. With fewer than 80 individuals left in the wild, it stands on the precipice of extinction, listed as critically endangered. Habitat loss and relentless poaching are the primary threats driving this ancient animal to its absolute limit. Each footstep in the quiet forest is a fragile reminder of a heritage we are at risk of losing forever. At the very peak of the Sumatran canopy, a solitary figure moves with quiet grace. This is the Sumatran orangutan, known in the local tongue as the person of the forest. A sage of the high branches. A master of the heights, it rarely descends to the damp ground where danger constantly lurks. Arms, far stronger than legs, are the perfect tools for traversing the gaps between the trees. Every movement is intentional, slow, and deeply calculated. Its brain maintains a detailed map of the forest, recalling the location and ripening time of every fruit tree. Yet its greatest legacy is passed down through an unbreakable maternal bond. For nearly a decade, the young will learn everything from their mother, from building a nightly nest to identifying hundreds of edible plants. It is one of the longest and most complex learning periods in the entire animal kingdom. However, Millions of years of wisdom cannot withstand a single modern force. Beneath their high paradise, the roar of chainsaws is growing louder. The forest is vanishing at an alarming and unprecedented rate. With only about 13,000 remaining, each individual is a precious gem, a flickering hope for Asia's only great ape. Yet beyond the hunts and the struggles, what remains is the profound fragility of existence. When habitats shrink and populations are counted only in the dozens or hundreds. Every living soul becomes a living legacy of millions of years of evolution. Every step is not just a search for food, but a silent war against disappearance. Life here requires no myth to achieve greatness. Its value is found in its persistence, its intelligence, and its capacity to adapt. And the future of that legacy no longer rests on instinct, but on the choices made by humanity.